Hello, welcome. We're going to have a bit of a play with the activities, the games, the assessments, how we can run them on our smart boards, but also how we can run them on smaller breakout rooms from iPads or other small devices as well, if you're not actually teaching within the classroom. So we're kind of going to start from the very beginning. How can I open up Smart Notebook? How can I log in? Where do I get the games? Where do I get the assessments from in there? And we'll look at creating them, and then we'll see actually play one on the board here. We're going to do that in Notebook. And then we're going to have a look at it in Lumio as well. The difference between Notebook is that's that piece of software that's downloaded on your laptop, needs that Windows or the Mac machine. And then we'll have a look at Lumio, which is a cloud-based solution. So you can do it directly from an iPad, from a Chromebook or anything like that. Or of course you can do it from your Chromebook, from Chrome browser or any other browser, straight from on the board itself. Super. Let's get going. So first of all, I'm going to open up Smart Notebook. I've got it saved as a favorite down here. You might have it at the side there, or it might just be in your start menu. Scroll down to Smart Technologies and it's in there, or just type in Smart Notebook and it'll appear. So now I've got Smart Notebook open. I'm going to play the games and activities there inside this little space invader at the top here. If they're not in there, if you click on this little menu here, you will see that there's an activities here. Just drag and drop that back up to the top, a bit like I could do with this one, and I can put it in the right place where I want it to there, whichever one you want for there, inside those activities. Let's just close that. So now I've got those games activities. First thing I'm going to need to is actually to sign into Smart Notebook. So I'll go to Account and Sign In. Now I'm just going to sign out and then sign back in just so you can see it. So I've signed out. Okay, and then if I click on Sign In, so it's going to prompt you with your web browser to sign in. Now, this is just signing with your normal teacher email address, whether that's your Google or Microsoft one. I'm going to use my Microsoft one and just sign in with my normal credentials. So now I've signed in, I'm all set, which is good to go. So now I've signed in, I've now got access to these activities here. And there are loads within here. I'm not going to go through and make all of these. Have a go for yourself. We'll look at a couple and then go and play with them afterwards as well. So you can see here there are, like I said, lots. There's fill in the blanks, game show, match them up, and they're all created in the same way. You can read that little guide at the side, or if you click on that little preview of it, then it just gives you a preview of it, if you like. A little picture, a little video of actually how to play that game, what it looks like when it's being used. There are some that say requires device required. So obviously those ones are made here and then they are sent out to student devices so they can play them out there. But the other ones that can be played on both. So I'm just going to go forward and let's just have a look at the template of super sorts. You can see sorting to categories, nice and simple. Looking at monster quiz. What question do I want? A multiple choice. I could just enter in that question there, straightforward. One I'm actually going to make is our rank order. So I click on rank order. Let's just preview it again, just so I can see what it's roughly going to look like. Click preview, click make, and then on here, I can just enter in my parameters, my text. So for example, times tables, whatever it might be, entering those here. My parameters at the side, if I want to check them, don't check them, add in labels if I want to, click next. And here I've got different templates that I can use, clicking on any of those. If I want to customize it, I can add in my own pictures. I'm just going to add in the pirate ones and click finished. And that's the game made. Nice and simple. From here, I can then move these around. If I'm then, like we have said before, getting students up, how can I get these students up playing it? If I've got multiples at the same time, they can both come and do these, both get them right or incorrect, and it's going to be chucked out, and I can begin to have those marked for me all at once. That's just playing it on the screen, straight within Smart Notebook. Nice and easy. If I want to then send these out to student devices, that's when I click on that little device at the side there, the little red one. So if I click on that, you can see it's now giving me a unique code. Your code will be your code. Completely different for each teacher. Mine follows me around, so wherever I log into it, I'll have this one. So if you are teaching in different classrooms, you'll still have that code there. When you go into Lumio and online, you'll still have the same code for that one as well, on that one. So with this here, as soon as I click start here, that activity is ready on the student's devices. But how do they connect? Let's have a look at that one. So on any device, what they need to do is go to a web browser. So I'm just going to go to this one here. So open up a web browser and then go to hellosmart.com. If you do type that whole in at the top, hellosmart.com, then it's going to take you to that website here. If you try searching for it, sometimes it comes across a few issues. And nice, happy, smiley picture of children, so it must be in the right place. Easiest way is to go in as a guest. If you're wanting students to come in and out of that same lesson, so they're doing a bit of coursework, coming back to it, about project work, logging in at home and things like that, use their own Microsoft or login details and do that way. If it's just playing the games one-off or as a lesson and then leaving it, I'd go in as guest. It's much easier. So join as guest, much easier for the students to log in. It's then going to ask you for that code. Which code was that one? That was the one within my notebook file. It's now gone really small. If I want it big, I just click on that big icon there and it's big again. So that was the website, hellosmart.com, 162353. There's no space. That's just to confuse you. And then I've opened up here. And then within this page, I can go type it in and go 162353. Click next. This is the student's win, remember. And then it's going to ask them for their name. Hopefully they can do this bit. If not, just anything in that one there. And then that student is then in. So they can play this one. And let's just put that to one side. And then notebook on the other. So then this is the teacher copy here. Yes, it's gone small. That's just because I've done it this way. They can carry on playing with this one on the big board. And then the students can also play with this one as well. As soon as the teacher clicks on this mobile devices and click pause, it will pause for the learners as well. All eyes on me, really handy. If I was then to go to another game on the board here, that game would also appear here. Let's just show that. So I'm going to add in, but this time I'm in my Space Invader, I'm going to add in one that's really easy to set up, is a shout it out. Shout it out. I'm going to click nothing, click start, classic, finish, and there's that game made. That was really easy. And then with this one here, again, down the side here, my mobile device, I can see that someone's already connected. I can click start new activity, and as the teacher starts a new activity, the student starts one here. Shout it out is exactly as it sounds. How can I shout my answer out? So I'm going to type in hi and spell it correctly. On here, I click send response, and then that response is on the teacher one. Students, teacher. So let's just make this one large, and you can see that there is my student's reply. And if I click on that, it goes full screen. Great way for capturing all those insights into those learning, in the bringing there, what's the answer to this, how are you feeling? All sorts of bits and pieces can be sent up in here. And then I'm just going to get rid of that large one. And I can actually even undisplay the names, so it's just a dot. But you can see that picture correlates to that one as well. So a great way to get in all those answers recorded all at once using that shout it out as one of those activities. Great. My guessing is that you've paused that a few times to watch, or you're going to go watch that and press pause several times through it and make one for yourself. Have this video open up on your phone or something, or by the side, so that you can really kind of work your way through that one. Have a play with those games. Once you've made one, I can promise you that they're so easy to carry on and so fun to play with the students as well. A really way that they can engage with it and actually have fun with it, both at the board and on their devices as well. Brilliant. That's all sitting within Notebook. How we've looked at creating them, we've looked at playing with them here. Equally, if you've got that on a laptop that's not connected to the smartboard, you can still send those activities out to the learners and they can still play them with there. Remember that smartboard is just a really great big touch screen that you can annotate onto it as well. Super. That's all within Notebook. Let's minimize Notebook. Let's now open up a web browser here. So this is just any web browser. I normally use Chrome. It updates itself quite nicely. And I'm going to go to Lumio. Now, Lumio, let's do this one from the start as well. So when I go to Lumio, that's the website, lum.io. And once I've gone to Lumio, I'm going to sign in with my normal teacher email address, like I did within Notebook as well. So the login is at the top here, teacher sign in. If the students get to this page and they're trying to get to the other one, you've got a quick link there, student join a class is at the top there, but teacher sign in. And you'll recognize this one, the same page, that it's that how do I sign in, Google or Microsoft. I'm just going to click on here to sign back in with my Microsoft account. It's going to go for that one and ask me and jump straight back into it. Save me typing my password all over again, which is handy. So I'm now signing into Lumio, and these are then all my lessons that are in my Lumio account. And because I've used it a fair bit, got quite a lot, I've got folders and all sorts. How do I create a game quickly within here? I'd like a new game, so I'm going to click on new. Click on new, and there's lots within here. If you scroll down a little bit, it's here. There's a quick access to that shout out we just looked at. Response is more of your formative assessment, and then here is those game-based activities. Click on that one. And there's lots within there. You might have spotted, if you're really eagle-eyed, there's a few different ones within here. There's still the rank order, there's still the other ones that are in Notebook, but there are more on Lumio. I'm just going to highlight this one here, this word search. So in the same way, we've got the preview button here, so I can see that, what's a word search? Yes, that's a word search. Great. And click on it, and I can make those straight within here itself. I can put my title, I can put those words, let's just go for colors. A few colors in there, I'm not going to put a space in black. Brilliant, I've got those colors in there. Let's make it a little bit smaller, so it's easier for me to look at for today. Make it easy, I'm going to go for moderate, and it gives me a description of what those parameters are, and I want to see my word list as well. Click next. Again, the same way as we did for the other game, I can look at my templates and choose one I want, or I can customize it if I want to as well. Scroll down, there's quite some really nice ones in there. I'm just going to go for pirates. In fact, I did pirates for the last one. Go for jungle. Click finish. And now I've got that game made within Lumio. Remember, this is the cloud-based version, so I can now do this on any device. If you want to practice, if you want to prepare your stuff on your phone at home, go for it. If you want to do it on an iPad, go for it. It's just a web-based content. And I've got that one here. I can preview it. I'm not going to at the moment. I'm just going to click finish, editing here. And there's that game. I can add more lessons to it. I can add more everything to it, but I'm just going to click start just so you can see that as it's working. Again, I can still play this on the board. It's just a web browser up on here and find that one. You've probably found one already. Red. There we go. I can tick that one there and I found it. I've got a hint available. Click for a hint. And there's a U, which I'm guessing has got to be blue somewhere. Diagonally there. Brill. And I found that one, and so on. But what I can also do, if I now bring that to this side here, and this is the teacher's copy, I've also got a student connected. And again, it's exactly the same way as they connected beforehand. They go to that website, click on my people. They go to that website, hellosmart.com, as we did before. They type in guest or their own credentials. They've just gone as a guest. Same code here, and then they're in. To check it in Lumio, it's at that person at the side here. Click on that people. It's at the top, or I can expand it by clicking that button. Get rid of it. I can then play this one, but the learners can also play that as well. Again, if you're looking at this, they've got this on their device. They can be finding them. And as you can see, the word searches are completely different. So can I find, there we go, there's black straight down there. And I found, not quite, I found that one there. You're probably now busy looking for the rest of them, but I've got those different ones here. Equally, if you're sending that out to your class of learners, they've all got that word search differently. If you're sending out as a homework, they'll all have it differently. Every time they redo it, they'll have another word search of those each time. which is really cool. That is within Lumio. Sending that activity out to the whole class from that browser there. The advantages of that is that I can have multiple pages within my Lumio account. With Notebook, it's sending one activity out at a time. If I was then to edit this lesson, 3 dots, edit, obviously it's paused for the learner at the moment, I can add in another activity. So let's just go for game-based activities, and let's do that rank order we had beforehand. Rank order. I should probably go for 3s, shouldn't I? Three, 6, 9, 12. That'll do. There, click next. Let's go for basketball, click finish, and yep, done, finish that game. So now students are still logged in. They're going to get that activity and playing with it here. But what I can do, clicking on these people, I can then click it onto student paste. So if it's on student paste, actually, rather than playing that game, the student can go back onto another word search. If they finish that word search, they can go on this one here. It might be that you've got different tables. You go onto page 1, you go onto page 2. They're practicing their 2s, they're practicing their 3s, whatever it might be. So I can then start the activities. They can play that on here independently of each other. What I can also do with this rank order, and it's in 3 of them, is look at that data as well. Super sort, rank order, and match them up, have the data attached to it as well. So as the student plays, let's get a few wrong, a few correct. 12, 9, brilliant. So now I've finished that activity here. This is this teacher's version. So let's just make this full screen now. And I can play it, or I've got my data as well. And then within my data, I can actually analyze how my class have got on. Because see, I've only got one student playing it so far. As an overview of my class, I can scroll down and just see that's one person completed it. But what I can also do is show results. So which ones they got correct, which ones they got incorrect. I can drill into that data. And now I can actually look at my student progress as well. Am I sure you want to see it? Yes, I am sure. And then I can see that Mark took 25 seconds to do 4 times tables, and actually can click on that one and go into a bit more detail. And it was my 9s that I struggled with. So I can really drag into that detail. At the moment, that data is just stored online, so you can access that anywhere and see that and take notes on it anywhere that you want to. Exporting that data is being worked on, but at the moment it's just in that Lumio, so anytime you want it, it is there. And let's end that lesson. 3 dots, end that lesson. And now that's one of those in my Lumio account. If I wanted to go to any other activity or use pre-made activities, I've got all of those within that as well. So that's an overview of those activities, how we can use them in Smart Notebook by account, sign in, and going onto that Space Invader. Have a play with those. Opening up a web browser, going to Lumio, lum.io. And once you've gone there, sign in, again, the same way, your normal teacher email address. Click on New, and then you can start in lots of games and activities within there as well. To send them out to students' devices, the student goes to hellosmart.com. They can sign as a guest, put in your code, and then they can have the activities on their things as well. One final thing I'm going to leave you with is now I've got this game here, those 3 dots, I can share a link. If I click on share link, I can then share that link there with colleagues. So if I've made loads of those games and I want to share that with my colleagues, I can share that on there. They can have that link. It will put into their Lumio lesson. If I want to share it with my learners, student link, I can copy that and then I can paste that into whichever way you communicate with your students. Then they can sign into that and they can have that content ready wherever they go to as well. So hopefully that's been useful. If any questions do pop up, I'm going to pop my email address below. Feel free to email me, ask me any other questions in that sense. Or if you just want to leave any comments below of, I've tried this one, that one's worked really well, or how do I do this, then feel free to have any comments like that. Hopefully that's been useful. And hopefully we'll see you again soon and we can go into a bit more detail and actually get some created and working for you as well. So thanks very much, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care. Bye.